Welcome back, everyone. I hope you and your family are doing well. So this time we're going to talk about this LifeSaver Jerry Can. We're going to do a long-term review on it. I'm going to give you some pros, some cons, and my recommendation if I think you should buy it. Full disclaimer, I did buy this thing used off someone else. I've had it for about a year. They had it for about 3 to 4 years before me. I did replace the filter inside of this and a few other parts just to make sure it was safe to use. Other than that though, I've not done anything else to it. So let's take a look at the pros first. Some pros about this system. One is its size. See, in a vehicle like this, we don't have very much space in the back, so we have to be very careful with what we pack and how much we pack. It's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is, though, is that we have a system like this where it's a filter and a water tank all in one. So I don't have to worry or stress about if I brought a water filter, where to pack it so it doesn't get crushed, or if I'm taking too much gear with me. I just know as long as I grab this and it's full of water, we're good to go. And that leads to number 2 is the filtering. It's great. We've had no issues with it. We filter out of lakes, streams, ponds. We tend to stay away from water that looks pretty dirty just to kind of keep the filter alive longer, but we've not had a single issue. We've been all over the mountains with it. The other thing that's really nice is this valve. There's 2 things about it. One, it's the way the pack here, the Jerry Can, is designed to protect this valve so you have less of a chance of breaking it. It sits below the surface, here. You know, I guess if you had something poke here, you could break it off. That is a chance, but it's nice that it's more protected. The other thing, the way the valve is designed, it's got like a momentary option where if you push it down, you get water out for as long as you press it, but also you can lock it out and get water as long as you want. The other option for us, which is really nice, is you can get these attachments. Now, I don't know what end is on here, but if I can find more ends, it would be nice because I'd make my own stuff. But this is the shower attachment. And with this, when you connect it on here and you lock this valve open, you now have like shower water, kind of. But we don't use this for a shower, actually. So what we use this for is we use it as a hose to fill up our containers, either in the front seat when we're traveling or off-roading and we don't want to have to stop and actually unload the entire can to get water from it. We just reach back, grab this. If it needs a few pumps, we pump it, and then fill up our cups, and away we go. The other thing this is really nice for is, again, it stays in the back of the Jeep, and you can just take this hose and we run it to the back when we're camped, and literally you can just fill up all of your cooking implements, wash hands, do whatever you need to, and this can just stay strapped down in the back, tucked away, where I don't have to worry about it. So honestly, those are the big pros for us. This is a big one right here. Not having to move things around in the Jeep is always a plus. I love when you don't have to dig for stuff. Honestly, it's a pet peeve of mine when you have to dig for things. However, the system isn't perfect. It does have a few cons. Let's get into those. Okay, so now some of the cons, and you're seeing one right here. And this thing is weird. So it's got like this beveled seam, and it sits on that seam. So whenever you put it on something, it doesn't sit perfectly flat no matter what edge you put it on. And that can be annoying if you put it out and put it on a table and you're trying to pump it and the thing's rocking around, or trying to strap it down even. Sometimes it can create a little bit of an issue depending on where you're putting it. But that beveled seam, it's never given me a problem. The tank has never leaked. It doesn't have cracks or anything. It's been kicked out the back of my Jeep on accident. It's been dropped. The person we bought it from had it rolling around in the bed of his truck, and it survived. I mean, it definitely has nicks and stuff all over it, but it's got no real problems as far as durability. I think it's damn strong. Okay, so now the second issue has to do with the pump. Now, it's not a matter of the pump failing. I've never had one fail. I did replace this one, but the original one worked perfectly. I just replaced it just to make sure that I wouldn't have one fail when we were out somewhere. I was a little paranoid about it like that. But what I have noticed is that, let's say you're off-roading for the day or it sits for a long time, water seems to seep inside the pump. It's not really a bad thing, except that when you go to pump it for the first time, it can be hard to get this pump to work. That's one con for the pump. The other con is that I've noticed if you tip it on its side with the pump unlocked like this, you'll get a little water dribbling out of here every now and then. That's only if it sits on its side with the pump down, or like flip it upside down, which you shouldn't really anyway. But if you put it on either this side where the spout is or like this, no water ever really comes out. So the last and final con has to do with the mounting. Now earlier I touched on it rocking, but that's not the biggest issue. The one is how do you mount it or strap it down. I run a strap through here, which seems to work really well for me. You could run a strap through here on the side. I've done that as well. Bar that, the only thing I can think of is putting it in a Jerry Can mount, but I'd be concerned about the mount putting pressure on the pump since it is plastic. Though many Jerry Mans may not put any pressure there, I don't know. I've never tried it. And I don't know if it would fit. I don't know if it's the exact dimensions of a Jerry Can or not. That's something that we'd have to figure out. The biggest issue, though, is that these holes right here, they don't tell you what they're for, other than I think they're support for the tank because it's pressurized, but they don't give you any documentation if you can use these as a mounting option if it'll support the tank. It'd be really nice if we could find that out, because that could open up a whole world to how these things could be used. Okay, so some final thoughts on the system. One, I wish these ends right here, they would either tell us what it was, let us buy just the ends with a barb fitting, or give us a different attachment. Honestly, the shower attachment as a shower is completely useless. We use this thing just to fill up water cups or fill up bowls to wash dishes or for cooking. But as a shower or washing hands, this thing is kind of useless. I would much rather have a spout on the end that's just like a hose where I can turn it on and off with a trigger. It just makes more sense. As a shower, it's pretty useless. So I wish that would happen. Other than that, though, the system's great. We've not had a single problem with it. Customer service is awesome. I broke this piece here. It was an older design. They went ahead and just sent me a brand new one. I was fully expecting to pay an arm and a leg for it. They're actually not very expensive, and they just sent me a new one for free over the mail. I did replace the filter and the pump just because I was a little paranoid about it and wanted to make sure that everything was good and clean on the inside and that we weren't inheriting any problems. But the tank has given us no problem, no leaks, nothing. It's been great. So I totally recommend it. For $2.99, it's a little expensive, honestly. But if you need something that's this complete, this compact, and checks all the boxes for you, I think this is it. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like what's going on the channel, hit subscribe down below. Don't forget to hit the comments down below. Tell me what your water solution is. This is our current one. What your filter solution is too. And if you've created something for yourself that's cheaper, I'd like to know and I'd like to take a look at it. And you know, maybe I can build one and do a video on it for everyone else. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.